Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining CPAC meeting September 18. Let me share my screen. Hoping everyone is having an amazing day already. Oh, where is, sorry, one second. Okay, now it's technology. Okay, great. There we go. Hoping everyone is able to see my screen. And again, good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our CPAC meeting. Welcome back to school. Yay! Has been an amazing 3 weeks already. You guys can hear me okay? See my screen. Oh, thank you, Josephine. I only hear myself. Okay. Okay. We are going to start. Sorry, my computer loves to do this to me every single month. Um, Who is CPAC, right? CPAC is a citywide organization that advises the Chancellor on issues of importance to parents of the New York City Public Schools students. CPAC also supports the President's Council, every single President's Council, by providing information on important issues affecting the school and guidance in the development of local parent leadership. The Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, also known as CPAC, we are comprised of presidents or representatives of President's Council that represents 32 school districts, 5 high school, which are boroughs, and District 75, we are all um, constituents that advocate for 1.1 million New York City public students and our families. CPAC ensures that parents' voices are heard. We collaborate with different stakeholders and work together to provide high quality and useful information. We're always striving for excellence, equity, and opportunity for all. Okay. My beautiful laptop. Okay, so we have your executive board members for 2024 to 2025. The chairperson, I am the chairperson. I represent Manhattan High School, and we have our first vice chair. Randy, you want to say hi?
Good morning, everyone.
And we have our second vice chairperson.
Good morning.
You, I know Ashley is unable to make it today. Her name is Ashley Mulero. She represents District 1. We have a correspondence secretary.
Good morning, everyone.
And we have our treasurer. Rebecca, you want to say hi? I'll say hi for there. Thank you, Rebecca. I don't know, were you muted or something? I don't know. Okay, and now we're gonna have roll call, and it's 9:35 a.m. Randy, do you want to take it away?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Is District 21, District 1 is excused. District 3, District 5, District 12.
Here.
Thank you. District 17.
Good morning.
Good morning, Veronica. District 20. Josephine, I know you're here.
I'm here. Sorry, I was trying to rename 12.
Okay, District 21.
I'm here.
Good morning, Violetta. District
Good morning.
22.
Good morning.
Good morning. District 26.
Here, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. District 29. District 30. I know you're here, Becca. District 75. I saw.
Great day. I'm here. I'm here.
Good morning, Quinn. I saw you. Brooklyn High School, I am here. Bronx High School. Manhattan High School. Queens High School.
Here.
And District 25.
I can't rename.
Here. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, I turn the floor back over to you, Chair.
Thank you. Do you call Charlotte?
Yeah,
High
I
School?
can't
Oh,
rename.
Yeah, I called
no
Queens.
problem.
Yeah, I said here.
She responded.
Thank
I
you.
have her.
Yeah.
As you can see, my technology is a little bit not very good looking. Okay. And we are going to start with let me see. I believe I saw her around here. A little introduction, if you may. Give me 1 second to put in a little something something. Randy, I'm gonna pass it to you for what we spoke about. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Give me 1 second.
you ready? It says you're sharing, but it's blank.
Are you able to see my screen? Yeah.
No,
No? You able to see my screen now?
no, it says that you're sharing, but there's nothing there.
It's coming up. There it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. We are proud to welcome our new acting New York City Public Schools First Deputy Chancellor, Isabel DeMola. Ms. DeMola has served New York City Public Schools with dedication and distinction as a superintendent of District 21. And with her deep experience, commitment to children and families, and proven leadership, she will continue to advance equity, excellence, and opportunity for all students across New York City. So without further ado, First Deputy Chancellor Isabel DeMola, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Randy. I'm going to say Randy's probably a little biased. We've been working together for a very long time, but I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to take this seat within the Chancellor's leadership team and to work in service of all the families across all districts of New York City. Moving forward, I hope that you find me to be a strong partner for the families and children of New York City. And this is my first CPAC meeting in this role, so I'm very excited to be here, to listen, and to see how we can be of service moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much and congratulations one more time. I know it is honestly an honor for Randy. She was very excited when we all heard.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Um, so my screen doesn't show everyone, and I'm not sure if Kevin is here. Thank you, Randy. I see you.
Yes, Rosa, I'm here. This is Kevin.
Yes. We also wanted to give you flowers for and congratulations once again. I know we had spoken previously. Do you want to speak for like a minute or two?
Yes, I want to thank the council so very much for the ongoing partnership and support of our schools. I couldn't be more thrilled to work in this capacity alongside you in support of our school communities. Very excited, as is our entire operational team, to be in this space with you, learn from you, partner with you, collaborate, and ultimately for the best of our kids and our staff in this great city. So very enthusiastic about the opportunities ahead of us and continued partnership. We're very much looking forward. So thank each and every one of you for all that you do and the feedback you provide. It's instrumental in shaping our next step as an organization to improve for our kids and families. So thank you very much and look forward to a great meeting.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It is well earned too. We truly appreciate the partnership, and I know you're extremely responsive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's amazing, amazing to start with positivity. Okay, we're moving on. Hopefully my computer works. Okay. So CPAC meeting and procedures. To ensure that our CPAC meetings are run smoothly, fairly, and in compliance with CPAC bylaws, we ask you to respect the following. Please do not speak until recognized by the chairperson who will manage the meeting. Please limit your comments or questions to 2 minutes to ensure maximum participation by the greatest number of representatives. 3, please remember that the order of speakers as per our bylaws is as follows. As the executive board members, then the voting members, and then non-speaking members, which can be guests. And only if, of course, the time permits accordingly. We want to make sure that we hear from as many people as possible during the course of the meeting. Therefore, there will be times that we do not call you again, right? Because you have spoken. So we will continue with the next person to speak in order to be fair. Okay. And for that, just so everyone knows, this is the monthly meeting dates and times. We have our elections on October 9th, which is next month. We hold our executive board meetings. These are the dates. It may change according to the executive board members. Today's agenda, we have, we already did call to order and roll call. We're waiting on our chancellor. And then we are going to have a little guest speaker, a little squeeze in at the Office of Energy and Sustainability, Rodney Rojas Quiroz. And we are going to continue with CPAC business and updates. We'll have a little update by the Special Education Committee, Wellness, Safety, and Health Committee, and then we'll provide, obviously, a space for all of our members to share anything that is happening in your districts or boroughs. Unfortunately, we don't have the June and August minutes. It's been a busy 3 weeks for all of our aspiring leaders. We'll table that for next month. And then around 10:05, we're having include NYC presentation. And following that, we'll have the Division of Inclusive and Accessible Learning, which everyone knows as DIAL. And we already have little introductions by both our deputy chancellors. And our first deputy chancellor will have a little presentation on the computer-based training for the SHSAT. Then we'll have 3 resolutions that we'll discuss, review, and vote on today. And if possible, we'll have some time to discuss the bylaws, review it, make some amendments and vote on next month. We'll have around 11:20, apologies. We have the CPAC nominating committee selection. We'll have a couple of members that do not want to be part of the executive board volunteer to run the elections next month. Then we'll have some face updates by Jesse Mojica. And finally, of course, but not least, because this is very, very important, we'll have our CPAC liaison, Anthony Aguilar, obviously with the hot topics of this month, which are the expedited elections presentations. And if you have any questions, it will be answered today. Hopefully, we'll be adjourning before 12 or at 12. Okay, with that, I believe I am passing it to Deputy Chancellor Dr. Cristina Melendez.
Good morning, CPAC. I don't know how to lower my hand, so hopefully it catches up. Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be with you here today and welcome you back to school. We've been planning all summer and we're so excited to be back and ready. We hope and know that your children are safe in our schools and excited about learning new things with our school leaders and our wonderful teachers. The first days of school have been wonderful. They've been really smooth and exciting. And we were able to implement our new cell phone policy. We made sure that we opened up a bunch of new schools. The senior leadership team has been all around the city, really visiting our schools and supporting our school leaders and our teachers, and most importantly, meeting your beautiful children and, of course, the families that have been bringing them to school. So we're so grateful to have started the school year off strong. The Chancellor is in Washington, D.C. today and is really hoping to join us. But until then, she has charged her senior leadership team with being present and ready to answer any and all of your questions. So we are excited to be here. Thank you for the time, Chair, and I'll pass it back over to you so you can ask us all the wonderful questions that you have so early in our school year so that we can start structuring a wonderful rest of the school year. So let us know.
Thank you so much, Dr. Melendez. I will pass it. Deputy Chancellor Dr. Melendez, I keep on forgetting, sorry.
Too much.
I know. I will pass it to our first vice chairperson, which she has all the information. Randy, take it away.
Thank you. Good morning again, Deputy Chancellor Melendez. So first question, are there system-wide expectations or standards for how often superintendents, not the FLCs, should meet with parent leaders and parent coordinators?
I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Maribel. We had Chiefs wanting to talk to you guys at the same time.
yeah, sorry about that. Hi, everyone. Maribel Hulla, Chief of School Support. So in regards to the expectations, it is expected, and we have created a superintendent handbook so that everyone is aware that superintendents attend all their parent leader meetings. Obviously, we understand that sometimes things come up, but it is expectation that they are at their CEC meetings, President's Council meetings, that the FLCs are hosting and facilitating parent coordinator meetings, but that the superintendent is also a part of those meetings, understanding that sometimes they may not stay for the entire day if the meeting is an all-day meeting. But the expectation is that they are touching base monthly with each of their parent leaders, parent committees, as well as their parent coordinators.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Are certain districts or schools facing more challenges in meeting the class size mandates?
Hi, good morning again, everyone. So the class size mandates are a work in progress. Yes, there are some schools because of overcrowding or space are working through challenges to get to the required class size. As you may know, this year, a number of schools put in plans for that and were funded for different needs, teachers, supervisors, resources to expand the number of classes that are meeting the mandates. For this year, as a system, we are expected to be at 60%, and we're confident that we will reach that benchmark for this year. And we're in daily planning to make sure that we are in compliance with the law and implementation benchmarks over the next several years.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question. How many school cafeterias have been upgraded under the cafeteria enhancement experience so far? And how many more are planned? And then there's a part 2 to that question.
Good morning, everyone. So I can confirm that we have 256 cafeteria enhancements already installed. Those are across middle schools and high schools. And we hope to do about 30 more this school year, with more to come next year.
That is great. Part 2, what outcomes have been observed in terms of student satisfaction, reduced food waste, or nutrition improvements in renovated cafeterias?
So we've noticed a lot of great benefits from this and from these installations. Students now have more time to enjoy their dining experience due to the new comfortable furniture, including booths and high tops. The self-service style of our CEE allows students to spend less time waiting online and more time just enjoying the company of their peers or just relaxing in the cafeteria. We've also noticed some waste reduction efforts have also improved by empowering students to make their own food choices. They're more likely to select items that they genuinely want to eat, which means hopefully less food goes into the receptacle. All of our food meets or exceeds the USDA guidelines, New York City food policy, and our prohibited ingredient list.
That is great news, especially for, all our children, that they're getting nutritious meals and more opportunities to have different options. Okay, next question. What is the current shortage of school safety agents across New York City public schools?
So the current shortage of school safety agents is about 250. Pre-pandemic numbers was 63. Currently, they are definitely undermanned. There are a number of classes that are going in sort of back to back as they aggressively seek to address this SSA shortage. They created a pathway and pipeline for the school safety division by creating the assistant school safety agent role, which currently there are about 65 or so recent graduates from high school, as well as some other young people who want to change careers early, are joining the school safety division. These folks are going to be assigned to our elementary schools to provide support for the the standalone school safety agent at the respective school. But school safety is continuing to bang away and chip away at these numbers in order to meet the expectations of our schools. But one of the things that school safety just recently done, after a conversation with myself and the chancellor, with the police commissioner, is they've emptied out their offices where school safety agents were performing administrative roles, and they've increased the number of school safety agents in schools to ensure optimum safety visibility as well as support.
That is great to hear. So thank you for that. Part 2, in light of the ongoing school safety agent shortage, will the overtime cap be lifted to allow agents that are already assigned to school buildings to work additional hours in their own schools where they're familiar with the students, staff, and community?
You'll be happy to know that the school safety agent cap has already been lifted from 50 hours to 150 hours, which is a lot more than an average agent is used to working, should be working, or entitled to work. But 150 is now their cap allocation. So no school safety agent should be telling anybody that they can't work at their respective school.
That is also great news. We're hearing good things here today, this morning. Like, this is wonderful. Okay, so are there currently open 3K seats citywide, or are most programs at capacity?
Good morning, Randy. May you ask that question one more time? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part.
It's okay. Are there currently open 3K seats citywide, or are most programs at capacity?
I appreciate that question. And good morning, I'm Simone. I'm the Deputy Chancellor for the Division of Early Childhood Education. And so, as you might know, the school year just officially started. And so we do not finalize, or rather close and audit registers until later in the calendar year. And so families are still moving around. Right now, preliminary data is showing that there's still open 3K seats across the city. But again, families, it's an open enrollment system, so families can enroll at any point during the year. And so we want to reserve the right to get back to you at a later date to give you some more refined data on 3K enrollment.
Okay, and also for pre-K, are there districts with significant wait lists or unmet demands?
So unlike 3K, there is not communities with extensive wait lists for pre-K. There are still, again, movements across the city, and where we are finding that there is significant and persistent underutilization of pre-K, and we are able to convert those pre-K seats to support 3K wait lists. We are doing that. However, we have a significant amount of pre-K seats across the city, far beyond that of 3K, and we are not finding that there are wait lists that can't be serviced within specific communities.
Okay. Sorry. So there was a question that was asked about school buildings for parents to be able to utilize the building after hours. So Chancellor's regulations does state that parent leaders are entitled to 110 free usage hours of the building. So I would suggest having a conversation with the principal about how to put in a permit. I mean, I don't know if anybody was going to ask that question, but I felt like it was a question more like that we could answer as CPAC. But would anyone like to respond to that?
Yes, hi Randy, Danielle, Mango, Chief of School Support. So the only thing I would add to that is, so we know the expectation is that principals sit with their PTAs and make sure that those permits are in. So we're having superintendents remind principals of that. And any PTA that may have issue with that can contact the FLC and the superintendent will make sure that that's done.
Okay, thank you so much.
And Randy, if I may add, this is DC Rux.
course.
Good morning, everyone. If there's a particular district or a particular school that folks are having issues with, please let me know. I'll put my email address in the chat so that you all can let me know, because I know that sometimes it's a particular space or a particular district, and we like to help solve for that.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, so another question about SLT hybrid meetings. So sometimes we know the answer. Sometimes we just want to ask because it's nice when we hear DOE people say it out loud. It helps us for so many different reasons. So can SLT meetings be hybrid? And can the mandatory members join in person and the rest of the members be on Zoom? And can the SLT be during the school day only or after school too?
So I can take that, and I apologize that I have my daughter's name on here instead of my name. Marabahala again. So yes, SLTs can be hybrid. I think you want to make sure that the bylaws that everyone has states that they can be hybrid. They also can be during the day, but they also can be after school. They do not, and before school actually starts. There is no time frame. It has to be a collaboration among the DLT members to state when it's the best time for the core members to be part of the meeting. So it could happen before school hours, after school hours, and during school hours.
Thank you so much. And I did see that the Chancellor just joined, so Rosa, I could turn to you, turn to Chancellor.
Yes, let's give it to the Chancellor. I know she's a bit busy.
Welcome, Chancellor.
Good morning, everyone. Apologies for not being able to be here with you the whole time. I'm actually in Washington, D.C. I'm about to speak at a panel about New York City reads and solves and overall accountability and ways that we've done well and ways that we haven't done so well and ways that we need to improve. So apologies, you know, that I try my best to be committed to this space. but unfortunately the scheduling didn't work out. But I know the team is here answering your questions, and I look forward to meeting with the executive board in the near future so we can address even more of your questions and concerns. And I look forward to seeing you next time. So sorry for the rushed hello, but thank you to the team for being here, and thank you, of course, always to CPAC for being such great partners. So, and Randy, I hope you're feeling better.
Thank you so much. Yeah, your team has been here. They're great. They've answered every single question and everything has been positive this morning and great answers. So we're so happy, and we appreciate you taking the time to be here while you're in Washington.
Of course. Thanks, everyone. Wish me luck. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. So in the essence of time, can you hear me, Randy?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So in the essence of time, thank you everyone so much. I just wanted to also quickly maybe add on to what Maribel just said. It is not, the SOT is not automatically hybrid, right? It has to be in your bylaws already. A lot of times members just join on Zoom and it's not in their bylaws. So that's something that we obviously are able to support you with. And like just working together. If you don't know anything, we're not here to shame anyone. We're here to work together and see how we follow the protocols that need to be followed. Okay, thank you everyone so much.
So-
And we are gonna move on. Yes,
Can I just add one thing?
absolutely.
Thank you. So if you check out our Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council page, I'm going to put it in the chat. A few years ago, Shirley and I had created a template for schools that wanted to have SLTs be hybrid. So there's language in there if you want to take that back to your schools and talk to your principals and work with your SLTs to develop that. If that's something that you're interested in, we have it there for you too. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Everything is literally on the website. And if you're unsure, shoot us an email. We're very, very responsive. Me and Randy are like a hawk answering all the emails on a daily basis. And now we're gonna have the Office of Energy and Sustainability. Rodney?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Rosa, for squeezing me in your meeting today. Nice to be here. I'm Rodney. I'm a sustainability specialist with the Office of Energy and Sustainability. And I just wanted to do a quick plug for one of the events we're hosting in Harlem this upcoming October 1st at the Urban Assembly School for Global Commerce. It's a green career and club fair where we're inviting high school students from across New York City to attend and just engage with organizations and agencies who provide them with opportunities, whether that be internships, volunteer opportunities, youth groups that they can join through their programming to explore environmental and sustainable areas across New York City. Apart from that, the other aspect of the Green Career and Club Fair is that we're opening it up to the public and to the neighboring community of Harlem to enjoy our career section. Here, tabling organizations will be able to speak on work that's being done in New York City related to the environmental and sustainability field, as well as how people can get involved in it, and also pathways to entering those fields of work. So overall, this entire fair is really focused on how to get involved in New York City in terms of the environment and sustainability, and specifically for high school students, ways to get opportunities where they can engage with it more in depth. And again, this is October 1st. It's after school hours from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Urban Assembly School for Global Commerce. And we're hoping for a really big turnout. And thank you again, Rosa, for blasting this out through your own connection networks. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is why we say about working together. We'll blast out the flyer that you're gonna send, and then everyone is also going to blast it into all the networks that we have that we're in.
Amazing.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Randy. See you soon. You can also put the flyer in the chat. Everyone is also able to grab it from there, but we'll also make sure that everyone has it too.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And now we're moving on with CPAC business. And updates, give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm not sure if Liz is here or Ashley. Ashley, yes, Ashley. I'm not sure if you're able to speak, Ashley, for 1 minute with regards to the special education committee and all the meetings that we've held.
Good morning, guys. I literally have like a few seconds. Unfortunately, Liz apologizes, and Liz is taking care of her daughter who is very sick. She did email us. But the quick updates that we have right now is we had great outcomes to the meetings. I have definitely been encouraging families to attend the meetings, whether they have a child who's special education or not. And we have a lot of support that we need when it comes to the busing, as well as ensuring that our students have their IEPs are being met. So just trying to find structures to how to better support our students. That's all I have right now because I just got to Tweed and I'm about to go to the event for D75. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley. I know those meetings are very productive, and honestly, as a parent of a special education child, I feel heard. All my concerns, all my questions are heard, and it's going to be elevated. And it has honestly been the best IEP meeting the other day, like in my new high school. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally tear up for the amazing people. I can just tell, yes, Andrea, I had the best IEP meeting in my entire life. So yes, our advocacy works and us learning, and oh my gosh, I literally was tearing up. So yes, yes, yes. Getting emotional. Moving on with the Wellness, Safety, and Health Committee.
Thank you, Rosa. My name is Adriana Aviles, and I am a co-chair for the Wellness and Safety Committee. And we spoke at length about a lot of issues. This is a very broad committee. It's our second committee, and I hope it expands to a lot more participants. But we spoke at length in regards to the internet cell phone ban, the good and the bad versus in each school, and how each school is putting different policies in place, it seems, across the city, and wishing it would be more consistent for our children. We also spoke on the on hosting borough-wide events for the Safety and Wellness Committee, which I think is a great event for any parent space. We started to work on our vision and mission for 2025 and 2026, and that's going to be a very, very well thought out mission. So I know Rosa's been doing this for a long time, and hopefully we get it together for the next one. We spoke at length about the busing issue that for some reason, we always is an issue with the DOE. We have no idea why that is when we've done it so many times, especially for our special needs children. There is a rally September 22nd at City Hall from 12 to 1 for our parents. We would like them to attend only because it's very important, our busing. We don't want our families and children to be left in a corner at home waiting for this bus and not know where they are or being late to their first or second classes, which is a huge issue. We don't know why this contract is just crazy. Also, a panel for education policy is also having a meeting. It's coming up on September 25th on the busing contracts as well. So please attend or send an email to them as well, speaking about your personal experience for busing. We also spoke on attendance, priorities, and different families' conditions that they have for attendance, because every family is different. There's different conditions and things going on in the household. School safety also is a huge topic. We just touched on it earlier, but every school, every community has different priorities and different situations. And I'm so glad to hear that our number is down for shortage of school safety, down to 250. That's a wonderful report, which I will be sharing with our schools. Also, thank you for clarifying about the assistant school safety position. That's only in elementary schools. I will be sharing my President's Council meeting as well. That's wonderful. And then we'll be drafting a together letter for our next meeting's agenda. So anything else, if anyone could just send to the committee, we definitely will speak on that. And it's a there's a lot going on with the committee, so please join us. Thank you, Rosa, for everything.
Thank you so much. And again, the Wellness, Safety, and Health Committee is a special one. It touches on every single subject, and I encourage everyone, please go to CPAC website. Please sign up for every single committee because each one is unique, and in each one, your voice can make a difference. So definitely go and sign up. Please, please, please. We need more parents' voice. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Adriana, you're the best. And we're moving on with members, districts, boroughs updates. Any updates going on? This is your time. We literally have like we're past the time already. Does anyone have anything to share? One hand. Anyone? I guess we're moving on. And for that, we have a special presentation because our June and August minutes are not in. We're going to table that. And we have include NYC presentation. Julissa, take it away.
Good morning, Rosa. Good morning, everyone. I will share my screen so I can start. One moment. All right. Is it okay? It's showing?
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Julissa Garcia. I'm a bilingual family educator at Include NYC. I've been with Include NYC for almost about 5.5 years now. So thank you for inviting me. I know that some of you are familiar with us, but others might not. So thank you so much for inviting us, Rosa. So I'll start by explaining a little bit about Include and who we are. Include NYC was founded about 40 years ago by 3 moms that had children of their own with disabilities and believe that every young person with disabilities should be included and integrated in society, including school and the workforce. They also believe that children and their families should have access to resources and the support that they need to be part of school and work. So they wanted to create a place where information and guidance could be found easily for them. So we do that work in many different ways, which I'll explain in a little bit. But we service families and young people with disabilities from ages 0 from birth to 26 with known or suspected disabilities in all 5 boroughs. But not only do we provide training and information to young people with disabilities and their families, we also provide such supports to professionals as well. And we are the Early Childhood and School Age Family and Community Engagement Center, also known as FACE, for all 5 boroughs in New York City. So as I mentioned, we are a FACE center. One of the projects we are involved is the partnership with the Office of Special Education. So the OSC's mission is to support and empower families and communities to improve equity, access, opportunities, and outcomes for all students with disabilities in New York State. As the FACE centers in New York City, we focus on family and community engagement, on the family and community engagement aspects of the partnership's mission. So we assist families and educational organizations through our helpline, and we facilitate family workshops in designated schools and districts, as well as provide training for professionals in those designated schools and districts. So the Regional Partnership Center, that aspect of the partnership, they provide a continuum of supports to schools and other educational organizations, including training and coaching to those schools and professionals. So Include NYC, as the FACE Centers, is family focus, while the RPCs have a broader focus on educational organizations. These are our 2024 stats. We reached over 423,000 individuals and served over 15,000. Much of our success in reaching and serving people are in large part due to collaborations that we have with community partners, and that includes schools, community-based organizations, council meetings, houses of worship, and many others. And last year, we partnered with 393 community partners. A lot of our work is done through our helpline. We provide direct assistance to parents, caregivers, and professionals. We are available by phone, text, and WhatsApp. And I'll provide that contact information towards the end in the chat. But people can also fill a help request form on our website if they prefer to contact us that way. We have staff that speak English and Spanish, but we also provide assistance in many other languages, over 200. Here it shows that many of the calls that we receive are regarding what to expect in early intervention or preschool, who to contact if they need evaluations for their child. Some parents and youth need to access transition services or need help preparing for transition when they are leaving high school. So we provide a lot of guidance in regards to that. And a very common one is rights and advocacy, and that may look like educating them on their rights and responsibilities and possible next steps. Also on how parents can communicate better with their child's school and resolve conflict. So if there are any issues or any conflicts with the school, if the families have questions, doubts, or they just need some support and understanding, for example, the IEP document or preparing for an IEP meeting, we can provide that support. They can call or fill out a help request to contact our helpline, and our intakes team will schedule a phone call with an educator that has specific knowledge on whatever topic it is that the family or the professional is inquiring about. We also facilitate workshops for professionals and for families. But just to give you an idea of the workshops that we offer, we have workshops on topics like how to understand the IEP, on advocacy skills to help families advocate for their child's needs. We also conduct workshops on transition planning, which is very helpful for families that have children in high school and are going to transition into adulthood. We also provide workshops on topics like early intervention, how to transition from preschool to kindergarten with special education, and how to parent a child with a disability, and also transportation. So these are just to name some. We do have various workshop menus on our website if you're interested in booking any. But we also have our calendar of events where everyone can register. Here, a parent who attended our workshop shared their feedback, and it says Include NYC is an invaluable resource that serves all people equally. It is a life changer for parents, no matter what their income or education level. It should be duplicated across the country to help more people, says the parent participant. We also have many online resources like tip sheets on many topics, for example, on how to navigate the transition from preschool to kindergarten, how to advocate more effectively, what the family rights are under special education law. Some of our tip sheets include even sample letters, like for example, if a family needs to request an evaluation for the first time or a reevaluation, we have sample letters that they can just literally copy paste the sample letter and just insert their information and maybe edit it according to their specific needs. And having a child with a disability can be very overwhelming for parents and caregivers. So the more information they are exposed to and they can access, the better. The better they are prepared to navigate special education. So we try for our tip sheets to be accessible, which means we won't use jargon, which could be very confusing even for us that have certain experience with special education. Our resources also include contact sheets with contact information for the different New York City Public Schools departments. We also have attorney lists, mediation center contact information, and many other helpful organizations. In our calendar, you can register for our workshops and our parent support groups. We also have information on different programs and organizations that help children and youth stay active, socialize, and participate in activities and events. We have several youth-focused events and programs. We have Project Possibility, which we offer one-on-one counseling, helping young adults achieve post-secondary goals in areas of employment and higher education. There is a referral process, and I can share that link in the chat after I finish presenting. But we also have High School Launch, which allows us to work inside public schools to help youth stay on track to graduation. And we have Bridges, which helps youth develop life skills that are essential for employment, higher education, or independent living. We also have several events that are held on a yearly basis. We have our annual fair, and it's usually held at the beginning of the year, where families can go and connect with different programs and resources available for them. A very popular interest is summer programs, which the earlier they are exposed to summer program information, the better, to avoid waiting last minute. Another event is Outdoors for Autism, which is held outdoors at the park with a lot of fun activities. And at the same time, it provides resources to families, but it's a safe space for families to bring their children without feeling the stress of having their child misunderstood, and know that it is a safe space for them to go have some fun. And lastly, we have College is Possible. This is an event for high school students who have an IEP, and we provide information about college prep. Experts talk about college for students who are leaving school with a diploma and without a diploma. And this event is usually held in the fall, and it's fast approaching. Actually, it's a 2-day event. It's on October 23rd and November 6th, and I will be posting and sharing that information in the chat. But please share widely. We would like for as many families as possible to join us so they can learn about how to prepare. Something very important is for parents and caregivers of children with disabilities to feel supported. And Include NYC, we try to support them as much as we can through our parent support groups. Here, they can share their experiences, their struggles, and their successes. We have one in English and one in Spanish. We meet monthly and virtually, but we do try to schedule in-person meetings with them at least once or twice a year, and they can register through our calendar of events. But just to give you an idea of what happens during our group meetings or what we discuss, we talk about self-care, balance, coping with stress or mental health challenges, managing family dynamics. Sometimes we do invite other partners or community organizations that will expose them to other resources. But a lot of the topics that we also discuss are very parent-led. So we make sure that we ask them what are they interested in or what do they want us to focus one of the parent support groups on a specific month. This is our contact information. Please, if you are a person or know someone that needs any kind of help navigating special education and the different disability systems, call our helpline and we'll be happy to help you. I also encourage you all to follow us on social media and subscribe to our newsletter letter to stay up to date with the latest news and resources. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope I didn't take a lot of time. But I'm here for any questions, and I'll be posting information in the chat as well and sending it to Rosa via email, if that's okay.
Thank you, Julissa. Like it refreshes my brain every single time because I still take those trainings, even though I've, taken it for the past couple of years. I take it even in Spanish, so I'm able to refresher my mind and able to help my own child and other parents too. I've took all the trainings and I honestly commend you guys because you guys do such an important work and you guys are everywhere. So thank you so much. And I'm sure people have questions, please raise your hand. Andrea, you're so good. Thank you.
Yes.
And can you, Julissa, can you let parents know how they're able to become an IEP parent on the eligibility, if you may?
The parent member?
Yep, IEP, parent IEP member. If someone wants
So,
to support, yeah.
so I think you're referring to the IEP parent member training. So we do have a parent member training. We facilitate it a few times a year. And a parent member is someone that takes our training and we certify them to be an extra support during the IEP meetings. So if you want someone to be there and help you understand certain terms, certain terminology, or help facilitate the conversation between the parent and the school, the parent member can help you do this. We do offer the trainings, and you just register through our calendar of events. The training is about 3 to 4 hours. After that, you receive the certification, but you must have or have been a parent with a child with an IEP. And if a family would like a parent member at their meetings, just make sure that you request it in writing or email to your IEP team at least 3 days prior of the IEP meeting, because the parent member is registered with the district, but they do have to find someone, and it's based on availability. I usually say as soon as they give you the IEP meeting, request it because it gives them more time to search for it. So it helps everyone.
Thank you. I see one hand. Veronica, you have a question?
No, Rosa, I'm okay. I don't know how it came. My hand was up. Sorry.
Oh, maybe you meant a high five.
Yes, high five.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Julissa. Thank you so much. This was a great presentation. Please send me the slides so everyone is, also has the same information as we do here. We'll
I
also
will.
send, thank you, John, for sending the information. I will also include that in the email and send it out to everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you, Julissa. You can stay if you want to, but
I
I
will.
know how it is. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And next, we have the dial. The screen is still off. Want to unshare?
I can't share my screen yet, but if you give me permission, I will.
And while we get the presentation up, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say a quick hello. Christina Foti, Deputy Chancellor overseeing the Division of Inclusive and Accessible Learning. Couldn't be more proud to be with this team today. I think we've put together the best team that we've ever had. And Chief Corso and Chief Hammer, I know, are here today to support and are at the forefront of that good work. I want to just send a huge thank you to Randy. Randy, thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for hearing our work, seeing our work, and being such an advocate and partner to us. And that is true for each of you. we are a very, very lucky school system to be able to be supported by parent leaders like each of you. You bring brilliance and heart and advocacy to this work, and it's always such a pleasure to join you. So with no further ado, Chief Corso, please take it away. Thank you, Chief Corso, for your incredible work as well.
Hello, everyone.
Agreed.
So great to see so many familiar faces and such incredible parent leaders on the call. I know many of you, and those of you who don't know, in my emails you'll see me as Andy. I'm trapped as Andrea on the call, but you know me as Andy in my emails. And I support our superintendents in schools. And I'm here with John Hammer. And thank you so much, DC Fody. Oh, yay! Now I'm Andy on the screen. The purpose of today's short presentation is to make sure that families have the information in order to ask for what they deserve. We ideally want people to do what families deserve without being asked, and we know that the more people who know the real information, the better off our kids will be. And so that's the purpose of this presentation. John, do you want to say a few words and then I'll take us through?
I just want to reiterate everything that Deputy Chancellor Fody said about how grateful we feel to have the space here with the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council to help share some of this great information. And I just wanted to also thank Randy for her participation on the Special Education Advisory Council. We had a great meeting last night, and we'll be sending some of those slides out to Randy as an advisor following the meeting, and know that those will be passed along to you all as well.
Yeah, Rosa and Randy and a small group of members brought us together to share this, and we're excited to be back. So as we take a look, there are three key areas I want to make sure that I'm sharing resources and information on. First are parent and student rights. And this again is making sure that everyone has the information so that we have that shared language to be able to ask for and expect what students and families deserve. The second category that I want to share about is behavior intervention and de-escalation supports. And we know sometimes that our school system is not putting the right pieces in place when it comes to supporting students who are having behavior challenges. So I want to speak out about that and then talk about next steps. So those are the three things that I want to tackle briefly today. And of course, drop questions in the chat. I may speak a little quickly, but we will get back to each and every single one as we go through. Oh, the type just got real small. Don't worry, I'm going to orient you to each one of these things. So one of the things that we really, really want to stress is that when we look at the resources that are out there, the first place to go is the website. And that sounds so basic. And I don't think that everyone knows directly where to go in terms of the links. So that this link right here will take us over. And I just want to show you, it's thinking about it. And as you go here to the special education family facing website, this is the home page. If families are wondering where to start, this is the home page. And it takes us down inclusive language, the IEP process, the IEP, parent members, specialized programs. This is like Link Central, that very first thing on here that will take people to all of the key resources and documents that we want to be sure they have access to. We also have a link directly here to family-facing resources in multiple languages. So we want to make sure that we incorporate language access as well. The next thing that I have here that I just want to pause on is the standard operating procedures manual. And there's a couple things I just want to highlight for you here. This is a long document, and it also is a pivotal reference document for how things are supposed to go. So I want to show you a couple key pieces here. So I'm going to click on over into this. And again, you'll get this deck with every single one of the links. So if you take a look here, then I want to scroll. And what I'm going to go to here is the first thing that families often ask us about. And I'm going to go right to page 14, is the initial referral process. So how do we actually have the initial referral process if we're thinking, you know what, this student might have a disability? All of the timelines, rules, and regulations are right here. And so this is the place that people can go to for what should be happening. I want to show you one more piece here, and I'm gonna come down. And again, this is all cited for you here. This in the IEP meeting, the key thing I want to say here, take a look here at the bottom for me, parent participation in the IEP meeting. Team, are you seeing this on your screen? Great. I always like to double check that I'm screen sharing the right thing. And here you're going to see what should be happening in terms of your participation, family participation in the IEP meeting. I shared this document with this group of parent leaders. It's a dense document, but it has everything spelled out step by step. So it can be a very empowering document for families in terms of what should be happening and what to expect. There's a couple other pieces I want to highlight on the website for you. One of the things you'll hear about sometimes is something called due process rights. What if you disagree with the IEP team meeting? Of course, what we know is that an IEP team comes to decisions, but what if the family member disagrees? That's when you'll be referred to something called due process rights. And what I want to make sure of is when you hear that term, you have the link right here that will take you directly to the due process rights for families. Again, these are just some hot links that I want to put in here. The IEP process, what that is. And the other one I want to speak to is procedural safeguards. And procedural safeguards, I'm just going to click over here to show it to you, are rights for parents of children with disabilities. And as we are empowering with information, we want to make sure that folks have a clear sense of what they have rights to, the written notice, native language, email, consent, all of these pieces step by step spell out the rights of families for children with disabilities. Part of this, and I just want to acknowledge this as we go through, you may be like, Andy, this is a lot of documents. This can seem overwhelming. And I want to acknowledge that. And I also want to make sure that the right people have access to the documents that can be a roadmap and a guide for making sure that parents' rights are absolutely respected and honored throughout the process. So that's the reason I'm taking us through here. I want to just pause for a second where it says mediation question mark. And I want to just pause here and say many times when a family disagrees with an IEP, mediation can be an excellent choice. That's where a person comes from outside the DOE, a trained mediator that can bring the parties together and hopefully get to an even faster solution for families. So want to make sure that that's there for you also. And the link to that is in the due process rights section. We will absolutely be sharing this presentation. So you will absolutely get this whole presentation, including all of the links. This is like the real reference guide for you. Finally, and many of you have shared with me over time, like, Andy, it's good for us to know. It's good for families to know. But what we really need is for superintendents, principals, schools, and IEP meetings to do what they're supposed to do. And we take that responsibility seriously as well. Every fall, starting 2 years ago, we do a mandatory training led by principals and UFT chapter leaders at every single school. So every staff member in New York City should be receiving that mandatory training between the first day of school and election day that includes special education rules and regulations. We absolutely report on initial evaluation, report to the state on many pieces, and we offer, in order to improve some of our performance per session, to try to get more and more things done on time. Oh, great. I love what John just put in. Let's just pause there for a second and look at the chat. The context and resources person is absolutely a great place as well. And you can contact us there. Thank you so much, John, for dropping that in. And then, of course, we are always here for parent training. And so we want, and our partners and Include are such steady partners in this. And we really are hand in hand on this. But we are always here so that parents know what they deserve and what their children deserve, and that we honor those rights. So this was part one of this very brief presentation, was orienting you to the resources on parent and student rights and where to find them. Let's go to part two. And in part two, one of the common questions we get from families where they raise their hand and say, you know what, Andy, actually, my rights were not followed here, is around behavior intervention and de-escalation. And so I want to just make sure I'm lifting up this piece as a separate topic as well. So the resources, again, I'll always start with resources. There's this page numbers in the standard operating procedures manual. Then there's a specific link to resources for how should we be supporting students in behavioral crisis, because our students in behavioral crisis deserve support that aligns with their disability if needed, so that they are able to participate. And this last piece is less family facing, but I want you to know about it. These are some school facing resources we have that we want schools to take advantage of. On our special education PL site, which is linked here, we have resources for teachers and schools and also paras, intensive behavior supports, autism resources, and the FBA and BIP are two strategies we use: functional behavior analysis and a behavior intervention plan to appropriately support students who are having challenging behavior. So all of that, if you run into a teacher or a principal and they're saying, just a second, this is not happening right, here are the resources for those people that they can click on, so that that's something that we have for them. I'm thrilled to share we're investing more in para training. We know our paras are a pivotal part of this support system and ecosystem for children. We now have our new paras going through revised training that's especially aligned to behavior supports and sensory needs. We've had almost 3,000 of them participate in trainings over the past 3 weeks, really getting those bottom line basics of how to support students with sensory needs who are having behavioral challenge. And I just want to pause here for a second. It is groups like CPAC, it is leaders like Rosa, Randy, Ashley, all of you, Veronica. It's leaders like all of you that have brought this forward. This has not always existed, and your advocacy has made a massive difference in bringing this forward. Um, we also want to have proactive things, the expansion of sensory rooms, and also the special education office is partnering even more deeply with our family leadership coordinators and family support coordinators training. So those folks who directly talk to families at the district level are also getting training and support from the Division of Inclusive and Accessible Learning. So taken all together, this is one of those cases where wherever we get on the call, it's like, yes, I'm preaching to the choir. We're all singing from the same sheet. There are other things we can do when students have behavior challenges. My purpose in sharing this with you is to kind of level up information in terms of what schools should be accessing, to share what we are doing, and to also just align an awareness that we know what to do better, and we have to do it. You may be saying, well, what if this is not happening in my school yet? The first place to go, start at your school and then move up. And so starting at the school, then looking at the district level. And especially when it comes to challenging behavior, there are 3 district roles I want to highlight. And of course, you can always contact us. The 3 district roles I want to highlight is certainly the FLC, the Family Leadership Coordinator. Second, is your administrator of special education, called AZ sometimes. Third, and we don't always make this connection, is the student success manager. And those are often the people who are directly supporting the deans at the school. And so all 3 of those district positions, and they're in each district, can be a very helpful escalation point. And of course, you can always reach out to Dial through the special education inbox, which I'll be posting on an upcoming slide. You're doing great, crew. I've got like 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna share just a couple more important pieces of information. We want to make sure that if something is going wrong for a student, that you're getting the help that you need. If you are not getting the help you need, I know many of you advocate for so many other families' children. And in addition to supporting your own children, you are advocating for your whole community. If someone is struggling, if a student is not getting what they need, start at the school, bring it to the district, but always you can email the special education inbox and take a look at specialeducation@schools.nyc.gov. And that looks like just a plain inbox. Team, we invest a whole person plus monitoring this inbox every single day to respond quickly and appropriately and loop in the right people to solve things for kids. This is our lifeline. This is something we hold so precious as communication. When you raise your hand on this inbox, you will get a response from a human, and that human will be connecting you to the right people. Our lead on this, many of you know her, Johanna Rodriguez, is a phenomenal resource and advocate, and does incredible work. So this is a core connection point for us to be able to support families. Finally, we do have our Beyond Access series, which is directly for families and a ton of great resources around really supporting children with disabilities in all types of ways. There was one that was on sensory needs the other day, and one of my colleagues at work said, Andy, I heard you had something for families on sensory needs. Send me that link. I need that at home. And this is really the intention to be able to provide that. Our archive is listed right here. And that's something that you can always tap into, and we'll be continuing to offer this series. We also welcome requests for this series. And so if there are topics you'd like to request, we offer that. I'd like to just close by saying Dial is committed to keeping the chain of communication open. You really have your pulse on what's happening, when it's going well and when it's not going well. And we depend on that in order to do better for kids and families. We are more grateful for you than we can say. Rosa, Randy, your leadership has been extraordinary. And please continue to call on us as partners as we move the whole system, not just to know better, but to do better for all of our students. And that's what we're really striving for. John, Christina, any final words as we close out this very brief presentation?
Thank you, Andy. No, the only addition is that Rosa, I don't think I individually called you out earlier. I just want to thank you for your leadership and thank you for all of your support. As always, as Andy said, we're here and happy to come back and do whatever is needed to support you, both on your advisement overall, but of course, any specific student needs, please do send them our way. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. I know Randy does so much for our children too, and she represents CPAC too. Thank you, though. Does any member have any questions? Please raise your hands. I know that was a lot, and it's a lot to digest and comprehend. Believe me, we heard this presentation again and again, and still I have to take the time to digest every single subject. We have a question by Erica.
Hi, good morning. I had a quick question that's been coming up with parents who are stuck with related services that are not being provided in schools. They're getting the vouchers, but they're kind of inundated with trying to figure out. One parent called it that he's now the HR executive for DOE services because he's trying to get in touch with what provider is available, their schedule. Is there anything that facilitates or supports parents to do that a little bit easier than just the list?
I'm so glad you raised that, and getting related services provided is a key priority. I want to both honor the fact you're like, give me more than the list. The three things I'm going to mention. Oh, I see Suzanne. Did you wanna chime in here?
No, go ahead, finish, Andy, please.
All right, and then Suzanne will correct me. This is Chief Suzanne Sanchez, our special education leader, who'll say something that I missed. There are also three proactive steps we're taking. So I heard this specific request, and I want to share three proactive steps. One, thanks to an investment from City Hall and advocacy from many of you, we were able to hire a significant number of related service providers for preschool. So just start students younger with the right related services. That was a massive new investment this year. We're deeply grateful for it. Number two, we are offering, and it will be opening soon, Weekend Academy and After School Academy 7 days a week so that related service providers can be at the child's school. And so that's something that we definitely want to make sure to get out there so that that is going to be an easier way to connect with those services rather than trying to be HR for the New York City public schools. So wanted to reach that out, and I just feel the weight of that. And the third thing is we were able to work work on getting better rates for our providers. And our hope for that is that that's going to just broaden the pool of qualified people. That's going to make it much, much easier and more streamlined to recruit, retain, and get phenomenal providers so that kids get their mandated services. Suzanne, what did I miss?
You really didn't miss much, Andy, at all, as usual. But I would say that the increase in the RSA rates for the independent providers who use those vouchers is 40 years coming and unprecedented. And so something that we are really excited about to see that should yield more students receiving their services. But specifically to the RSA voucher list, please ensure, and I will drop the link in the chat, that families are aware the list is online as well and searchable online. And at the same time, we are doing what's called a refresher of the list. We've reached out to every single independent provider on the list and asked them to confirm whether or not they're available to work and take new cases and in which locations. And so that is an ongoing process and should be shored up by the end of September, which is right around the corner. And in the interim, families can always reach out to their parent coordinator and or the special education inbox on support on finding an independent related service provider using the voucher. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Is there any other question? If not, we're moving on with the agenda. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Deputy Chancellor. Okay, we're moving on after that. Thank you. We have, up next, we have the Office of Policy and Evaluation. Niket?
Yes, hopefully you can hear me. If not, let me know. And I've just made a note to myself to never follow Andy in a presentation. Such a dynamic and wonderful presenter. So you know, next time on the agenda, I'm going to make a note to go before Andy. Thanks for including me in this space. I'm excited to be here with all of you again. Again, my name is Niket Mall. As FDC Demola mentioned, I lead the Office of Policy and Evaluation, and believe I last joined sometime in May or June, sometime in the spring, to talk about the SHSAT. So excited to be here again to share a few updates focused on this fall's test. We've been sharing these updates with a variety of groups, you know, across district teams, FLCs and FSCs, and the student support managers, both groups that Andy also mentioned. But you know, also wanted to make sure that we share those updates here as well. One, because we want to make sure everybody hears the same message, but also know that the kind of invaluable role that all of you play in helping to spread the knowledge within your own networks as well. So happy to answer questions at the end, you know, but let's just jump in. Hopefully the screen is advancing on your end as well. But I know many of you are likely all aware of the state law, but do tend to start all of these conversations with just a reminder about the Hecht-Calandra Act. Not only does the law require the use of a single test to determine admissions, but it also spells out kind of the rank ordering nature of the admissions process. And so here within NYCPS, we comply with the requirements of that law by administering the specialized high school admissions test, or as I keep referring to it, SHSAT for short, and others I know call it the SHSAT. And also included in that law is that, you know, any and every 8th or 9th grade student who is a resident of New York City is eligible to sit for the exam to gain entry to a specialized high school. And, you know, we have we have 9 such specialized high schools, but as a reminder, LaGuardia is the one based on admission or audition, sorry. Jumping through, so, what does that really mean in practice? We use the SHSAT to determine admissions, and approximately 80% of seats at the specialized high schools are determined by the test, and 20% via the Discovery program. Discovery is a summer program designed for students who score within a range on the SHSAT, and they're invited at one of the schools to participate in the summer program, and then there's some eligibility components and aspects of that Discovery program in which they're invited, and then through a successful completion of that process, 20% of the seats are allocated through that Discovery program. So, as mentioned, any grade 8 or 9 student who lives in New York City is eligible to sit for the SHSAT, and we are a little bit south of 30,000 that sit for the test annually. It's somewhere between 27, 28,000, give or take, that test year over year. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through. So some of the specifics, as the admissions to specialized high school is part of the overall high school application process. And so here, just wanted to lift up some key dates that are coming up. Registration overall opens on October 7th. That's the general high school application and includes the components for the specialized high schools as well. For the SHSAT, specifically students interested in sitting for this test in this fall, they do need to register by the end of the month. The test is administered over several days in November. And all of that happens with the target of sharing offers in the beginning of March 2026. So, as mentioned, SHSAT is administered in the fall. For students in a traditional district school, they take that test during the school day, and they have been since 2021. This year's SHSAT school day test will be administered on November 12th. For students that do attend a charter or private or religious school, they do take the test on the weekend. We've got multiple weekend test sites, including at least one in each borough, and there are 4 weekend test dates in November. And so grade 8 students will test on the weekend of November 15th, and grade 9 students will test somewhere on the following weekend of November 22nd. As you may also know, our office, we contract and work with an outside vendor. In this case, it's Pearson to create and score this test. The previous contract from 2016 was coming to an end. And so over the past few years, we issued an RFP for this work. Through that RFP process, allowed us to make some updates to the test, including transitioning it from a more traditional paper pencil test to an online digital test. So that transition will start this fall. So with this fall's test administration, the test will be online, linear, which essentially means they'll still be able to progress forward and backward on this test, very similar to paper version. The test still has 2 sections, ELA and math. Test is still 3 hours. Test still has 57 questions in each ELA and in math. But one slight change is that the digital format will allow us to include what we refer to as TEI items or technology enhanced items, but kind of a fancy term for something beyond the traditional multiple choice question. So why transition to a digital version? Really it was made for a number of reasons and some factors that went into it. First and foremost, though, it's truly following local, state, and national trends around testing. So students are taking digital tests across all grades. New York State tests in ELA Math and Science in grades 3 through 8 are in their final year of a transition to digital tests. As part of that transition, last year in district schools, we had over 260,000 students take those ELA Math state tests online last year. There's also a variety of tests that kids are also taking digitally that are beyond those ELA Math and Science tests. Some of you may be aware that NISA, which is also a state test, has been digital for a number of years, but also since 2016, College Board has been transitioning some of its tests. So PSAT, SAT, and AP are all digital formats now. NAEP is a digital test as well. And then there are also some classroom-based assessments or formative assessments that students are also engaging in the digital format as well, such as Map Growth, iReady, to name a few. In part of all of that, right, it's not just the tests that are moving digital, but we know that teachers are continuing to leverage kind of digital instructional materials and incorporating technology into their instructional plans on a regular basis within their classrooms. Also, just highlighting and listing here that a digital test does allow us some additional opportunities to provide more supports for English language learners and students with disabilities, as well as some universal supports that any student taking the test will be able to take advantage of. So some of those embedded supports do include kind of translated directions and glossaries, the ability to magnify, test read, color contrast, and a few others. I referenced and we'll come back to some of the TEI or technology enhanced items, but again, continuing to highlight that the format change then allows us to leverage something beyond just a traditional multiple choice test. In that transition, I do want to continue to lift out or call out a couple of things that I think are important to keep in mind. There's very little typing, almost no typing required on this digital test. So most of the tests can simply be completed by clicking a button. The test is not designed to measure students' typing skills. There will be a few fill in the blank type questions. Some of those are replacing the current grid-in items on the paper test. So, for example, if a grid-in question, maybe one had to solve a particular math problem, maybe the answer came out to be 9.4. They would have to bubble in 9, bubble in the decimal, and then bubble in 4. Now they'll be able to type in 9.4 within that fill-in-the-blank type item. We're providing all of the devices. Students do not need to bring a device to the test, whether it's during the school day or whether it's a weekend administration. We will be providing all of the technology required there to take the test online. Students can continue to bring a pencil. They should continue to bring a pencil, provide scrap paper. They can work out their problem, whether it's a ELA or reading question that they want to map out or use some strategy there, or to work out the math problem on paper before selecting their response online. There will be, I say it's moving digital, but just do want to continue to put in, the important qualifier that there will always be some paper version of a test. And so students with an IEP or 504 accommodation that simply cannot be met in digital platform will be provided a paper version of the test. This is true for the SHSAT. It's true for other digital tests, for example, the state exams. But based on our experience with the state exams, we do expect this to be relatively low incidence. And finally, students, even in this online format, will continue to get a single composite score, and that'll be used for the rank ordering process. Since last spring, we've been working with the vendor Pearson, who develops the test. We've launched an online SHSAT portal. Portal includes a number of resources to help families and students with that transition to a digital test. There are a couple of full-length practice tests that are currently available that replicate the fall test in terms of content and functionality. Students can select practice tests that have translated directions, as well as other accommodation features such as test read. Portal includes an explanation of each item in the practice test as well. There's also a how to prepare for the SHSAT guide, details a little bit more information about the exam structure, the content areas, the testing procedures for students to get familiar with it. So students and families can also view and participate in an interactive student readiness tutorial. This tutorial really helps students become familiar with the digital testing interface or platform and instruction. We want them to have that opportunity in advance. And we're also working directly with schools right now and providing them with some additional resources for students to experience that exam functionality ahead of the test day during the school day. Talk about that in a moment here as well. I mentioned a few times these TEI items. I do think it's always very helpful to just put a visual next to that to help put that into a little bit more context. These examples here are not meant to really mimic the content level, but really help to just zero in and focus on like what that functionality is. And so you can see like a drag and drop, may get a question, drag the odd numbers into this section, put the even numbers into a different section, a reference fill in the blank before. So there may be opportunities where students do click in and then type in to fill in that blank, or what we call hotspots, but essentially multiple select 2 out of the 5 that are responsive to this particular prompt or question, and then they would highlight the 2 that they would then submit in their response. I feel like I went through a lot, but I do want to come back to a little bit of the kind of like specific dates and timelines here. So families still do need to register for the SHSAT. There are 3 ways in which families can register. They can do that through their My Schools account. They can do that at school, working with a school counselor. Make sure that they're registered, and if they don't have a My Schools account yet, they can go to a family welcome center to do so. In terms of the test, as mentioned again, November 12th is a key date for students in our traditional district schools. They'll be taking that test during the school day at a familiar location. Hopefully that continues to lower some of the anxiety that some students feel around this exam, but being in a familiar location with their peers, but also with their teachers during a traditional school day, hopefully helps continue to remove any barriers from participation of weekend obligations or family obligations for participating. we're in the process of gearing up to train test coordinators for what that day will look like. So that is coming up, but did want to just take another moment to call out kind of the digital readiness activity. I referenced kind of an activity that schools will be doing to get kids familiar with that testing platform during the school day. This is a short activity in which schools, all middle schools, will utilize. Kind of they'll guide students through an activity, asking them to log in to a sample test through that secure testing platform, learn a little bit about how to navigate around that test platform, how to move to the next question, go back, review answers, so forth. But they'll also be directed to specific questions to see some of those items that I talked about before. Those item types beyond multiple choice, just to get familiar with them as well during that guided activity. Schools will be sending home a letter to families in the coming week or so, letting them know about this upcoming activity, and schools will select a specific date that works best for their school within this window of October 6th to the 17th to engage in that. And then, just in closing here, I will highlight again some of the key dates and deadlines. Want to make sure that as registration opens on October 7th and closes on the 31st, specifically for the SHISAT, that families do register if they are interested in sitting for that test. And then the specific dates here, again, in this case for those who would sit for the test on the weekend. All right. I think that's it from me. Sorry, I did not follow the chat, so I will see if I can actually see the chat if there are questions, or if somebody has a question, happy to run through.
Yes, don't worry about the chat.
All right.
Does any member have any question? Please raise your hand. If not, we're moving on with the agenda. Okay, I think you did an excellent presentation. Thank you so much. And if you can be so kind to send it to me so I can actually send it to all the members so they can send it to their constituents, that'd be great.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again for the invite. Sorry for taking up a little bit extra time, but I will send this to you, and happy to answer questions if they come in later. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. If you're also able to drop in your email in the chat, that would be great too for the members that are here.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're moving with the agenda, and let's see. Randy, are you able to read one of the resolutions by any chance? I got you. 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 Okay. We have Erica, Becca, Josephine. Are you guys able to read one of the resolutions? We have three. Please say yay or nay. The first resolution is on support to expand and improve students' Omni cards.
If you can put it on the screen, I can do it.
Yes, sorry, my computer. 1 second. There we go. My share button now. Okay, let's see. Please work. Are you able to see it?
Not yet. I wrote something in the chat if anybody wants to look.
Can you guys see it?
No, it just shows that you're sharing your screen, but it's still the black screen.
Mm. Okay. It tells me it's sharing. Are you guys able to see it now?
Not yet, my dear. There it is.
Yay. Thank you. Erica?
Okay. Resolution of support to expand and improve NYCPS students Omni access. Okay, let me just see. Yes. Whereas the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, CPAC, calls for equitable access to student Omni cards for all New York City public school students, regardless of distance eligibility, and recommends improvement to card durability, accessibility, and whereas students continue to face barriers to public transit access despite the launch of the Student Omni program, including geographic eligibility rules that deny cards to students living within 0.5 miles of school, despite safety, geographic barriers, and after-school needs. Unexpected card deactivation that disrupt students' ability to travel to and from school and activities. Difficulties and delays in replacing damaged or lost Omni cards, which can leave students stranded or facing out-of-pocket costs without being reimbursed. And whereas access to reliable, no-cost public transit is essential to student attendance, participation in extracurricular programs, employment, internships, and or civic engagement opportunities. And whereas students are the primary stakeholders in in the Omni program and must have their voices heard in decision making and policy refinement. And whereas New York City Public Schools, NYCPS, and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, have yet to establish a clear process for ongoing student input and transparent reporting on student Omni issues, including eligibility appeals, deactivation policies, and replacement turnaround times. Therefore, be it resolved that Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council demands fair, transparent, communicative, and equitable distribution of student Omni cards to all NYCPS students. And be it further resolved that the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council demands for clear, transparent process to obtain an Omni card, reimbursement if OmniCard stops working and an expense is incurred, proactive and ongoing communication around card deactivations and fast reactivations, and be it further resolved that CPAC calls on the NYCPS and MTA to meet the parent leaders, reliable student-led organizations work together and address the gaps in the Student Omni program. And be it further resolved that CPAC urges NYCPS and MTA to jointly conduct a cost analysis for expanding student Omni eligibility, including projected long-term savings from improved attendance and student access to academic and extracurricular opportunities, and to actively pursue funding solutions such as city, state, or federal subsidies, grants, or reallocation of existing transportation funds to remove financial barriers to universal eligibility. Finally, be it resolved that CPAC urges NYCPS to designate a direct and dedicated point of contact at each school from all districts and the NYCPS Office of People Transportation for student Omni related concerns to ensure ongoing communication, transparency, and accountability in program administration. This resolution was adopted by roll call of the CPAC on September 18th, 2025, by a vote of, and we're pending that vote now. End of resolution.
Thank you. Thank you, Erica. With that being said, thank you, Erica. With that being said, Randy, are you able to do roll call?
We have to do discussion first, if anyone has any.
I cannot hear you.
We have to discuss it before we could vote on it.
Right, no, but I was asking if you're
Yes.
able to rule.
Yes,
Okay,
I could do the roll call for the vote.
okay, awesome. Does anyone have any questions, any comments, any suggestions? Erica?
I just had one, just a specific whereas, we have the students with disabilities who have transportation on their IEP don't get an Omni card. They can, it's a special situation where they can get it if they're doing something, but it's either one or the other. Would that be included in the language when we are stating all NYCPS students? This is more of a question.
I think we can be specific and add it, if anything, because as of now, we were told it's either or. You hear me? One second, please.
Did she freeze?
I'm still here, but I'm not able. My computer kind of froze. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me.
We could hear you, but you're frozen.
Sorry about that. Randy, my computer is not letting me do anything.
You want to move on with questions from
Yes,
D29?
please.
I'm sorry, was that yes?
Yes, please.
Okay. Priscilla?
Hi, guys. This is more of a suggestion. I'm serving double duty as also transportation chair of my District 29. And what we have come up with the D75 is suggesting more meetings and check-ins with the stakeholders with regards to transportation pertaining to the matrons, whoever oversees the matrons, the bus contracted DOE vendors themselves, along with the OPT and MTA, all constituents and stakeholders with regards to transportation, so they can have monthly check-ins to constantly monitor the issues we're having, and particularly with the D75 population. It is quite concerning. So we need to hyper focus, I would suggest, on that population, with them being on the bus for an extensive period of time, sometimes up to 2 hours, maybe even 3. So I think it would be best if we can add something in there for them to have more regular check-ins to kind of moderate these problems. And that's it.
Thank you, Priscilla. Appreciate that. Adriana?
Hi, yes. So my question is, we did a similar resolution at CCHS. Let me turn on my camera. Sorry about that. At CCHS, and I brought up the issue about the ferries especially for those students that are going to the harbor school. And someone's told me that they get free ferries. And I'm pretty sure that was a no because I looked it up online. Can you just clarify with about the usage for the Omni cards on the ferry, or what happens? Do they get a discount, or can someone just clarify that for me? Because I think I saw it online, but I just for myself. I know I'm not going crazy.
My son actually looked into that as well. In Nixa, there's a discount code, but it's only a discount code. There isn't actual free access as of yet.
Awesome. I thought so. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, so we lost Rosa. Oh, she's back. Rosa has your connection now.
Can you guys hear me?
Much better.
I'm using my own personal cell phone
Okay.
data. Whatever works.
Yep.
So if we could just, I'm sorry, Rosa, we're just talking about the ferry. So somewhere in there, can we put for these students that have to take the ferry, can we make it somewhere where it's free for them as well, instead of just a discount for these students? Because I think there's a confusion with that.
Definitely.
Thank you.
1 second. I remember.
Rosa, in the chat, it also asks if the Long Island Railroad express bus could be included. So I'd like to just make a suggestion if we could possibly table this resolution so we have the time to make sure that we include everyone and all transportation that should be included to make sure that the resolution is impactful and has the information that we need. So I motion to table this resolution until
Second.
next meeting.
Third.
Agree. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Table for October. Thank you. Thank you so much. And this is why we need to continue to advocate, because like we don't know everything, right? But I know something, you know something, and together we're able to actually support all students to all their needs. Let's move on with the next resolution that I don't have on my phone. If anyone is able, I mean, everyone has it. So if everyone is able, or someone is able to actually put the next resolution, which is the DIIT resolution, please. Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Erica, are you going to read this one?
This one too? Okay.
Sorry, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just didn't know if you were going to continue.
Oh, it's okay. I'll do this one, but somebody's doing number 3.
Okay.
Okay. Resolution for NYCPS DIIT to provide online access to student records for a minimum of 1 year after graduating or leaving NYCPS. Whereas the My Student New York City student account, NYCSA, is a platform through which New York City Public Schools, NYCPS students, and families access students' academic and performance data. And whereas student information and My Student account is maintained by the New York City Public Schools Division of Instruction and Information Technology, DIIT. Whereas the New York State Department of Education, NYSED, requires that student information be retained for 20 years. And whereas My Students accounts are deleted in the summer they graduate. And whereas graduating students often need ongoing access to their NYCPS digital accounts, including Google Drive, Google Classroom, nycstudents.net email, and their My Student NYCSA account, where they have years of academic work, resources, and correspondence stored. And whereas many alumni require access to critical records, such as individualized education program reports, IEPs, grades, transcripts, and recommendation letters that are found in My Student and related platforms. But these records may become inaccessible soon after graduation. And whereas not all students transition immediately to higher education, some may take gap years, post-grad years, or breaks. So abrupt loss of digital school access creates genuine obstacles to later college applications or vocational pursuits. And whereas oops. Some students graduate before the age of 18, requiring their ongoing access to their academic records and school accounts for official purposes, such as military enlistment, legal documentation, or civic responsibilities, underscoring the need for reasonable post-graduation access to school data and communications. And whereas students who are dual citizens may have to complete mandatory military service abroad before pursuing higher education, requiring access to school documents for several years post graduation. And whereas students at New York City students.net email accounts represent a reliable centralized way for NYCPS to maintain communication with alumni, vital for both outreach and engagement of students who later achieve professional success or wish to return as volunteers or mentors. And whereas establishing and maintaining alumni communication is fundamental to future district-wide alumni associations, which in other regions have helped raise funds, build school reputation, and create membership opportunities that benefit current students and schools as a whole. And whereas digital storage costs are relatively low and extending account retention by even a single year after graduation provides significant opportunities for students, whether for securing recommendation letters, accessing crucial documentation, or retrieving important contacts and portfolios of work. And whereas national guidelines and best practices recommend schools retain electronic records for extended periods, and many states set retention minimums that exceed current NYCPS practice, with several recommendations requiring access beyond graduation. And whereas implementing a 1 year retention policy gives NYCPS time and means to facilitate other smoother transitions, improve alumni data management, and reduce both student hardship and administrative burden around record requests. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, CPAC, requests that NYC Public Schools Division of Instructional and Informational Technology, DIIT, implement a policy to retain, preserve, and provide graduating student accounts, NICSA, and records, including but not limited to Google Drive, Google Classroom, NYCstudents.net email, and My Student Access. Online remote access for at least 1 full year after graduation. Be it further resolved that DIIT considers ongoing student online remote access for 7 to 20 years as outlined by our New York State Department of Education, NYSED, per policy guideline 404-1115 and in New York State Education Law, Section 5002 2A and Section 5002 2D. And be it further resolved that NYCPS notifies graduating students in advance of any planned account deactivation, provide clear instructions for archiving and transitioning materials, and create support resources for those needing to retrieve records after the 1 year period as part of a broader commitment to student alumni success.
Oh, I was talking to myself. Thank you. I'm on my phone now. Thank you, Erica. I know that was a lot, and everything is really important. And this is how we advocate, because sometimes we have meetings and meetings, and then we just want to make our point go across. And this is how we do it with resolutions. Um, does anyone have any suggestions, any questions? Am I muted? Oh, okay. Um, Okay, so do we want Randy, will you do the honors of roll call, please?
Sure. So, when I call your district, you're just gonna say yes in favor of or no opposing the resolution. So District 3, District 5, District 12, District 17, District 17, she's here. I guess she's, unless if you're muted, I mean, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. If you might be muted. Veronica? Okay. District 20,
In favor.
okay. District 21, District 21 is not here. District 22, District 25,
Yes, in favor.
thank you. District 26,
Yes, in favor.
thank you. District 29,
Yes, I'm in favor.
thank you. D75, he's not here. Brooklyn High School, yes, in favor. Bronx is not here. Manhattan is not here. Queens High School President's Council.
Yes, in favor.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We
Can
cannot.
you call on District 3? I see that they're here. 3, 12, and 17.
District 3, Lauren.
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting and I was also in the bathroom. What
Okay.
was that?
We're voting to on the resolution for DAIT to extend student access
Yes.
for 1 year.
Okay, yes.
Okay. So 12 is not here. We're just waiting on 17, Veronica.
I'm sorry, because I was on mute too. Yes, I'm in favor.
Okay, so we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that resolution passes. Oh, Veronica, you have a question?
Do you call on Becca, District 30?
Did I not call Becca? Oh, Becca, I'm sorry. Becca. I'm sorry. Becca. She might have stepped away. But we do, I mean, it passed with 8.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And
Becca's saying okay.
Yay. It's 9 now.
Okay.
Now we're going with the next resolution. If you don't mind putting it up, please.
No problem.
Thank you. Josephine, do you want to do the honors?
So resolution urging New York City Public Schools to pilot a free summer college tour program for rising seniors. Whereas nationwide college undergraduate enrollment is over 19 million students, with 62% of high school or equivalent graduates going on to post-secondary study. And whereas in New York City public high schools, over 80% of recent entering ninth grade student cohort years are graduating high school within 4 years and over 85% within 6 years. The New York City Public Schools, formerly known as DOE, has consistently expressed its commitment to all students for post-secondary success, including preparation and readiness for higher education opportunities. Many high schools organize college fairs to provide students with opportunities to meet with admission officers to learn about the schools they represent. While helpful, these are still limited college engagements lacking the holistic experience and in-person benefits of visiting. Whereas many New York City public school students face financial and logistical barriers that prevent them from visiting colleges and universities independently, particularly those outside of New York City, limiting their exposure to diverse higher education institutions. And touring college campuses and attending lengthy information sessions with Q&As typically offered in an on-site undergraduate university admissions office or college welcome center. Whereas there are third-party, for-profit, and non-profit organizations that offer college campus tours, and many high school parents and alumni associations organize campus visits too. These touring options may be inaccessible to many students due to cost, scheduling, and availability. Whereas in-person college and university tours provide rising high school seniors with valuable insights into the academic programs, research offerings, internship guidance, campus environments, dormitory housing, student life, and financial assistance, enabling prospective students to make more informed decisions about their post-secondary education. In-person tours can allow greater discussions regarding a college or university's curriculums requirements, major and minor concentrations, and campus fit versus virtual tours to help students assess whether a school aligns with their educational and career aspirations. And whereas a free organized summer college tour program would expand equitable access to college excursions, motivating more students to explore and engage in the application process by empowering high school students to directly research and even expand their future choices. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council urges the New York City Public Schools to pilot a free summer college and university tour program for rising senior high school students with the following provisions. Program structure shall New York City Public Schools shall organize daily summer group college and university tours for rising 12th graders, registered in advance in the spring semester of 11th grade, following invitation for student-specific tours of interest. The scope of tours, the program shall include guided tours and admissions information sessions, led by college admissions offices at both public CUNY and SUNY schools, and private colleges and universities in the New York City tri-state region, which includes New Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island, and Westchester. Historically, Black colleges and universities, tribal colleges, and Hispanic serving institutions, as well as round-trip day trips to institutions as far south as Washington, D.C., as far north as Boston, Massachusetts, and as far west and east as Syracuse, Ithaca, Albany, and Stony Brook within the New York State. The logistics, New York City Public Schools shall provide free bus transportation and chaperones for all tours, ensuring equitable and safe access for participating students. Registration and accessibility due to potential demand. Hold on. Registration may be limited and students may be restricted to a predetermined number of tours to ensure broader participation. Set-aside spots may be given to students who demonstrate financial need or limited access to independent or in high school college exploration opportunities. High schools must offer invitations to students interested in a college tour. The program aims to expose students to undergraduate institutions they might not otherwise visit in person, fostering a sense of belonging to the toured education community, motivate students to begin the college application process early, empower students to make informed decisions about colleges and universities best suited to their educational and career aspirations, show demonstrated interest in the undergraduate programs and colleges that include on-site visits and interviews in the college application evaluation process. provide an opportunity for students to gain exposure to the larger educational environment they previously would not have had. Evaluation and report. Based on the program's success, New York City Public Schools shall assess its impact annually and consider expanding or adjusting the program from its pilot phase to a permanent rollout in subsequent summers to maximize toward college enrollment results. Funding and implementation. New York City Public Schools shall explore partnerships with public, nonprofits, and private entities to support the program's funding and operations, ensuring no cost to participants. Be it further resolved that the CPAC calls upon New York City Public Schools to develop and implement this pilot program for the summer of 2026 with a plan of sustainable funding and coordination with college admissions offices to maximize the program's reach and impact if permanently adopted. This resolution was adopted by roll call vote of the CPAC on September 18, 2025, by a vote of yes, no, abstain. The end.
That was funny. The end. Thank you, Josephine. Does anyone have any questions? I think it was a lot, but I think it was well written. It is very detailed. And I would really love for this to pass because we currently have none of this. Does anyone have any questions, any comments, suggestions? If not, we can do roll call. And it's free. Free program. Hello. Okay. I love anything that has to do with free. Okay, no questions, no comments. Randy, roll call, please.
Okay, District 3?
Yes.
District 17?
Yeah.
District 20?
20? Yes.
21?
Yes.
22? 25?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. What you say, 29? Yeah, no.
No, 25.
Sorry, I heard 9.
It's okay.
No, it's okay, Priscilla. 25, says yes.
Thank you. 26?
Yes.
Now Priscilla, 29.
She said
Priscilla,
yes. She said yes.
you might be muted.
I'm trying to tap the screen. The screen protector's killing me. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, District 30, Becca. Becca. Okay, we'll come back to her. District 75 didn't come back. Brooklyn High School, yes. Queens High School.
Yes.
District 3.
You
Oh,
say
she
yes.
answered yes. All right, sorry. Okay, so did I miss anyone? 1, 2,
What about 22?
6. Is
Is
22
it 22?
I don't see 22 still here.
Oh, sorry. I'm on my phone.
It's okay. So 1, 2,
District 12. I'm just calling out random numbers.
8, 9. We have 9 for yes.
And then Becca. Yes. We can hear it.
Becca, you might be muted if you want. You could write it in the chat. But right now we have 9, so it does pass.
Thank you. Yay. 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 Awesome. And we are still behind Sorry about that. Let me just check what's next on the agenda. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, making sure that I wasn't muted. Okay, next we have the CPAC bylaws review. However, if it's okay with everyone, we can like push that to the next month because so it's like 9:11:50. Look at me, 9, my brain. What does everyone say? Randy, Josephine? Yeah, okay, awesome. So we're moving on with one obviously most important thing is the CPAC nominating committee selection. And this we have to get done today because our elections are next month. So if anyone would like to volunteer to chair the meeting, the elections next month. Yes, Jeanette?
I'm only saying if no one else wants it, I'll do it. Is that an answer without an answer?
Yes.
Because I know
whenever
how that gets, so
volunteer-
everyone can run and, be collectively, considered. So if no one wants it, I'll do it.
I'm gonna put you in the list that you
Okay.
will do it.
Okay.
Anyone else would like to support with the election nominating committee for the elections next month? Jeanette is one person. We love another person to support her.
It's okay. I do this all the time. 12 years. I could do this in my sleep.
Me too. Me
So,
too.
we're
Believe
good.
me. We're parent leaders. We
Yeah.
keep the work
If
going,
anything,
move forward.
I'll ask Quentin. Because I know he got off, but we can ask a few people.
Yeah, we have
Is that okay?
to
Can we do
select-
that, Randy? And no, they have to
we
be
have
here.
to-
Here now.
Yeah, we have to select them here.
Let me see if he can join. And he's at the Tweed. He's at Tweed.
Erica, do you want to volunteer? Just thumbs up. I think I.
Yes, I do.
Yay. Okay.
Okay.
So we have Erica and Jeanette
Okay.
being the elections my brain nominating committee for next month elections. Yay, awesome. Okay, and now we're moving on with Jesse. Oh my God, he's still here.
Jesse's here.
Yes. Thank you, Jesse.
No worries. Good morning, everyone. And as always, a pleasure and privilege to be here with all of you. I wanted to thank all for the opportunity to share some of the incredible work that's been happening across the city, actually, this summer through FACE. As you know, one of the commitments of the Office of Family and Community Empowerment is to make sure that our schools and families are not just connected inside the classroom, but also in everyday spaces where families live, work, and gather. So this summer, I just want to take an opportunity to share a few things that we did this summer. This summer, we took that commitment to heart through the collaboration of New York City Public Schools CARES, Family Connectors, and our NYC Reads ambassadors. Together, we have been working to make family engagement more accessible, more meaningful, and also more joyful. Let me start with our FACE summer pop-ups. These events were designed to bring the best of our resources, literacy supports, community spirit directly into neighborhoods. Instead of expecting families to come to us, we went to them into parks, plazas, barbershops, and even block parties. And every borough, our goal was the same: to meet families where they are, to put books directly into the hands of children, and to show parents and caregivers that New York City Public Schools are their partners, not just during the school day, but all year round. The results have been really inspiring. Over the course of the summer, we hosted more than 27 events and pop-ups citywide. These weren't just straightforward gatherings. They were designed with purpose to make literacy fun, to bring information into the community, and to give families the opportunity to engage with our FACE staff, with our New York City Public School family connectors, with our dedicated New York City Reads ambassadors. We partnered with neighborhood institutions that families already trust. For example, barbershops became literacy hubs. Places like Brooklyn's Finest, First Class, and Figs hosted events that turned a routine haircut into a chance to discover books and build a love of reading. Community plazas and parks, including Quisqueya Plaza, Morrison Plaza, Poe Park, and Manuel de Dios Triangle, became lively spaces for children's games, storytelling, and family conversations. We also made sure to present at major citywide celebrations where families were already gathering in large numbers at Summer Streets in Harlem, the Dominican Day Parade, and the 5th Annual Summer Youth Fest at Luna Park. We reached families on a bigger scale, connecting thousands of people to resources they might not otherwise encounter in their daily routines. At the same time, we focused on resource-rich community events where families came looking for support and information. Places like at the Hope Center Community Fair, the Feria de Educación y Recursos, and the Gender Equity Community Resource Fair. We shared everything from literacy supports to information on school programs, making sure parents left not just with the flyer, but with real connections to our teams and the confidence to navigate the school system. Another highlight I'd like to mention was our participation in back-to-school town halls in Queens and in the Bronx, hosted in partnership with Univision. These events showcased the power of collaboration with media and community leaders. They gave parents a platform to ask questions, share their voices, see their leadership spotlighted. Importantly, these town halls set the tone for the new school year, helping families feel prepared and empowered as partners in their children's education. And now in terms of impact, these efforts connected us with over 1,000 families. But numbers only tell part of the story. What's just as important is who we connected with. Families who might not have walked into a school building this summer, but who met us in their neighborhoods, at their barber's chair, or at a block party. Families who left not only with books in their hands, but also a sense that New York City Public Schools are here for them. We also built strong partnerships. Over 10 community organizations and agencies worked alongside us, including Univision, the NYPD, the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, the Hope Center Development Corporation, and organizers of the Dominican Day Parade. These collaborations sent a powerful message. When schools and families and community partners work together, we create stronger, more connected neighborhoods. And our work isn't stopping with the summer. We're proud to announce the launch of a new New York City Reads Hub at Storyland in the Bronx. This hub will provide families with year-round space dedicated to literacy resources and engagement. It's a model we want to expand because it ensures that literacy is just not an initiative, it's part of the fabric of community life. Also looking ahead, we have a series of town halls with our City and Community Education Council scheduled for this fall, where families will have the opportunity to continue to have a place to have their voices heard. Our first one will be on Monday, October 6th, in District 31, CC 31, at the Michael J. Bertides School in Staten Island, followed by on October 21st in District 6, CC 6 at PS 48. And then following will be on December 1st in District 15, CC 15, at 345 Dean Street in Brooklyn, home of the Brooklyn High School of the Arts. Town halls are opportunities to strengthen the bond between our families and school system, to hear directly from parents and caregivers, and to ensure that our decision-making reflects the needs and aspirations of our community. So in closing, this summer reminded us of the power of partnership and creativity. By transforming everyday spaces into hubs of connection, literacy, and joy, we not only engage families, but also build trust. Our work shows that family engagement empowerment is not an afterthought. It's the foundation of strong schools and strong communities. I wanted to thank, all our New York City Public School family connectors, all our New York City Reads ambassadors, and the entire FACE team for their incredible dedication. And I want to thank all of you, our partners here at CPAC, for continuing to be partners in this work. Together, we're building a school system where every family feels seen, supported, and empowered. So I thank you so much, and I look forward to the work ahead.
Thank you, Jesse, so much. I know that was a lot of information. That was a lot of information, but a lot of it is on the website, so like let's try to look at our email, check out the DOE website. It has a lot of valuable and important information. And with that, Anthony, I believe that's your time. Yes, you have the floor, Anthony. Thank you so much for being patient. Apologies.
Good morning, everybody. Is it still morning? Yes, it
Yes.
is. Good morning, everybody. So I'm gonna run through the expedited election deck that I have. I'll try to do it as quick as possible because I know we're over time.
Yeah, but don't rush too much because we want parents to hear it.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
So my first question for everybody is, what is an expedited election? Can somebody just tell me a brief overview? Just we can unmute yourself. Can I get somebody? Come on. The quicker you answer, the quicker we can get off.
Well,
election-
here
oh,
you
sorry.
can basically you're just giving notice ahead of time when it goes out with the agenda, a letter stating the position that is vacant, and then you're also letting the parents know that you will be accepting nominations during the actual meeting. So there's no
Yes.
nominating committee.
There you go. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
So yes, there is no nomination committee. Everything will be happening at this meeting. So people will be nominating themselves or somebody else at that meeting. Polls, everything will be done at that meeting. We'll go a little more into depth as the deck goes along. Can somebody tell me how elections or expedited elections can be conducted using what methods?
I'd like to take a stab.
Sure, let's go.
They can either be held in person or virtual, but not hybrid.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. So yes, you are correct. Yes. And who can run PTA elections or President's Council elections, expedited elections in the fall? Anybody? Fall makes it a big difference. Anybody?
Wait, what was the question? What was the first part of the question?
Who can run an expedited election, a PAPTA or President's Council in the fall?
Anyone who is not running, I believe.
Yes,
Preferably somebody on your board if possible, but yes, anyone who is not running or going to nominate themselves.
correct. And who calls this meeting in the fall?
That is it that person? I'm not
No.
sure actually.
So I will give this one to you. So it is the principal. Why? Because the term ends for PAPTAs and President's Councils as of June 30th or 31st, excuse me. So that means that the PAPTA ceases to function because they have no members, and then the principal of the school or the district office, if it's President's Council, has a meeting to reconvene that entity. But then, yes, a parent in the school can host the meeting, so run it, facilitate the election. It can be the President's Council if you have one. It can be CPAC as well, along with your FLC. And last but not least, FACE. But make sure you go through all the other channels before you even reach out to FACE. Thank you. All right. So we're going to go straight into it. So we did discuss that there's two types of meetings that you can have for elections or expedited elections, and that is virtual or in person. Things that you have to do that is necessary for both virtual and in person is make sure that you have a copy of the PAPTA bylaws or President's Council and Chancellor's regulations as well. We should create meeting notices and agenda. We should verify that candidates are eligible to vote. We should have translation and interpretation if necessary. The SLT election should take place if there are any vacancies. So you must, or you should contact the chair or principal of the school to see if there's any vacancies. And the election certification form is necessary as well. Make sure you're filling out the right one. On the top of the election certification form, it states PAPTA or President's Council. Make sure we're filling the right one, because if you don't, we will have to bounce it back so that the correct form is filled out. Also, the election certification form has to be submitted within 5 days of your election stated by the Chancellor's regulations. Now, here are some differences. So in person, we should submit permits if needed, create a ballot box and create ballots, ensure that ballot box is there as well, locked, have a DOE employee ready to verify voters using the ATS roster, having a whiteboard or chart paper with a marker, of course, so that you can write the candidate's name and tally votes when it's time. For virtual, um, make sure you create a link, make sure the polls are created, also verify voters as well. Ensure that whoever is hosting the meeting knows the platform that they are using, right? So they know how to mute, unmute, share screen, um, run the polls, make sure the recording is happening, and breakout rooms if necessary. So we're going to go into meeting notice. So like any meeting, we have to make sure that there is 10 calendar day notice. The notice should have the date, time, and location. Location if it's in person, link if it is virtual. All positions that are to be filled should be on that notice as well. Term and term limits. So those are two different things. When we refer to term, that is July 1st to June 30th. However, term limits are how many terms you can consecutively run for that position, right? Some have term limits, some don't. Please refer to your bylaws to see if there are term limits within your PA, PTA, or President's Council. The date that you distributed the notice. So if you are sending this notice out today, it should have today's date on it. And as I said, the format of the meeting. Here is a sample of the agenda. When opening the meeting, you should have opening remarks, tell everybody how this election will run. Choose a chair or note taker, then verify votes, of course. Verify voters, and make sure quorum is met. Then you go through with the elections for each position. After that, SLT elections, if applicable, and then just the summary and then adjournment.
Anthony, can I interject for a minute?
Sure.
Can you go back a second to the slide? So the agenda is great, especially for the time. This way everyone knows what the time is. But just be careful because you see we're 9:40 to 10:20 for the elections of those three positions. You cannot move on. You can't close the position until 10:20. So if everyone nominates themselves in the first 3, 4, 5 minutes, you still have to wait until 10:20 before you can close the floor for those officer positions. So you just want to make sure that you put a reasonable time there for your school, like you personalize it for your school. Same with SLT elections. That's all.
All right. So this is the like opening remarks. So I open the meeting, calling the meeting to order, thanking all parents and guardians for being there. As I said, making sure that you have a 660 there, all that good stuff. Explain the process of the election. That's important so everybody knows how the election will run, right? Going over the difference between contested and uncontested election and how that will run as well, right? So if it is contested, you will launch the polls. If it is uncontested, you make a motion for that person who ran or was nominated to fill the vacancy on behalf of the whole everybody who was present. So you just follow the motion steps. Motion, second, and there you go. So here's an example for virtual. If somebody is calling on the election, you have to make sure that they are participating inside your election as well. And you do this by calling out the last 4 digits of their number and then asking them to identify themselves so that you can verify them. And then also when it comes to voting, you do the same thing as well. And we will get into that a little later as well. For in person, usually I do verification at the door when they walk in. But if not, just make an announcement that if you haven't been verified already, meet this person at this corner of the meeting or wherever they're at so that you can be verified. And just ask if anybody has any questions so that you can clarify anything before the actual election starts because you don't want to interrupt the elections while it is happening. So here's a brief overview of how the election is to go. So you start off with reading the roles and responsibilities for each position. In this case here, it is the president's roles and responsibilities that we are reading. Some people like to put it on the screen so that they can read along with it. Once that is done, you're going to open up the floor and ask the audience if anybody wants to nominate themselves or anybody else to fill this vacancy. Record any nominees if they nominate themselves. It's easier because you just have to write that. However, if somebody nominates somebody else, you have to write, say in this case, Randy voted for me. Or nominated me, excuse me, you would have to write Randy nominated Anthony for president. And make sure that is written in your notes. Once you have all your nominations, make sure you close the slate by saying something like this. Do we have anybody else who would like to nominate themselves or anybody else? If not, I will be closing the floor, going once, going twice, and then you close. After you close your nomination portion, you should give each member at least a minute to make a brief statement on why they want to occupy this position. After everybody has spoken, then you can launch the polls if it is contested. Remember, if it is uncontested, you make a motion and then everybody casts their vote. Once they cast their vote, you should read out or share the screen. If you're online, you should share your screen stating this is how the vote went. It shows it if you're using Zoom, and the person with the highest amount of votes will fill that vacancy. For in-person, when it goes to ballots, because I didn't say too much about in-person, you nominate yourselves in the same method. However, when you are nominated, write the name on the whiteboard, chart paper, whatever you are using. You should fill out the ballot And then the easiest way is to make a copy of the ballot and then give it to everybody so that they can cast their vote. Once they cast their votes, they put it into the ballot box. After everybody cast their vote, all their votes, they should then unlock the ballot box and count in front of everybody the ballots and tally them up on the chart paper, and whoever receives the highest votes, of course, fills that position. Once that is done, congratulate the person and then go to the next position. You will continue this until all positions that are on your bylaws are full. Once you are done, I like to recap everything, so if this is something I didn't say before, if you had people who were not verified or were on the call and were not verified, but they wanted to be on the meeting, you put them in the waiting room. Once the elections are done, this is when the recap comes into play. You allow them back into the meeting so that they know who was voted into what position. And then you move on to the SLT portion. Remember, the SLT portion functions the same exact way. You need to let them know the roles and responsibilities of the SLT members. However, the only difference with SLT is that parent members can only vote in parent members. So if you are a PTA, no teachers are allowed to vote in SLT parent members. It is just the parents. Once all that is done, you can adjourn the meeting, but a key note to remember, make sure that everybody who was just elected onto the council stays behind so that you can fill out that election certification form. Remember, according to Chancellor's regulations, we have 5 days to fill out that election certification form and then distribute it to the district office, add it into SBLCI, so on and so forth, and send it to FACE if it's your president's council. So I know I said a lot. Do you have any questions for me? Adriana, I see your hand up.
Yes, hi, Anthony. Thank you for this. I just want to confirm and just put it out there as well, because if we had our elections already and we're missing a couple positions, we have our expedited elections for any opening positions in the next meeting. So I would imagine it's okay that elected members, including myself, are able to run that meeting, correct?
Correct.
That's the only thing I just wanted to confirm. Thank you so much, Anthony.
No problem. Any other questions? No? Okay. I guess I did a pretty good job.
There's a question in the chat about whether holidays count for calendar days.
Yes. So it's calendar days. It doesn't exclude anything. So no weekends count as well.
Okay, also just wanted to to clarify for the election certification form, if you're a PA or PTA, you want to make sure that especially if you're co-presidents, that I know on the line where it asks you for the rep to president's council, if you're the president, you don't have to fill it out. But if you're co-presidents, you do have to fill it out and choose which one of you is going to attend president's council and which one's going to attend SLT. And then for president's council, which one is going to attend CPAC and which one is going to attend DLT. And please share that it's not president and co-president. You're equally co-presidents together. So even though you fill out the line that says president, and then the other one says co-president, whoever's in that first box does not mean at all that they are the president and the second person is the co. You're equally co together. So just make sure that for your PTA, you fill it out for President's Council. For President's Council, you fill it out for CPAC. and that it's also recorded in the minutes who the rep is going to be and who the alternate is going to be. Because you may be asked that question, and if it's not there, you may not have an alternate with voting rights. So you want to make sure that everything is documented in your minutes when you're doing anything, but especially elections, it's very important.
All right, I'll hand it back over to you, Rosa.
Thank you so much. And I think this, if you don't mind sending that slide, so we can also send it to all members, and they can also provide that same training, hopefully as well as you did, to their own members. And CPAC, we've done a couple of trainings to let us know we are there to help you, to support you. Randy always says this: you're not alone, and we keep on telling you, like, you're not alone. Like, don't feel that you need to resign just because something went wrong. Let us know how we can help you. We are our own advocates sometimes, but we have levels of parent leadership structures that will be there to support you. With that being said, I don't want to keep everyone just for long, because we can talk all day. I just want to make sure, if you haven't heard it today, thank you so much for everything that you do. I know my superintendent says this every single time, and I'm like, okay, let me just say the same thing, because it's just like, thank you. I thank myself, I thank Randy, I thank Anthony, I thank everyone that is here for every single time for advocating for us. We're advocating for us. We're advocating for our children. We want our children to have the best education possible. So keep on advocating. And also, thank you. I just want to acknowledge also Hispanic Heritage Month. Yes, yes, yes. Every single day I celebrate that I am a Latina. My cultural, my yay, yay, my culture, my music, my values, my food, the food. I know Randy is like, yes, the food. I'm still waiting for those empanadas, but okay. um, and just remember another thing: World Peace Day is on September 21st, but it should be every day. Self-care, guys, is really important. I cannot express that enough. Another thing, all of our committees are working to perfection. I know that special education is meeting on September 30th. I'm not able to share it because my laptop is not working, but uh, go to CPAC website, sign up, and you will get the link. The wellness, health, and safety, you heard from Adriana, it went well. We have people every single month. We're little by little just having more members. Please, please sign up. That's how we keep a track of who's coming, who's joining, and just share your voice. We need you. We need to hear from you. And I don't want to keep on talking all day, but thank you so much. We're adjourning the meeting at 12:21 p.m. unless someone has any other questions. If not, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on election day, October 9th.
Get the
We're there
executive portion
available
out.
via email. Yes, yes, Anthony. Hello?
Mhm.
I thought you said you had a question. My brain, apologies. But thank you everyone so much. See you next month. And yes, keep on sending us email. We're very responsive, as you can see. Thank you, thank you. Have a great day.
You got the live stream?
I'm trying to. I'm on my phone. So, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm not able to find how to end the live stream.
Make me host. I think it'll pop up when you make if you make me host.
Oh my God. This is, you see, this is why. Thank you, Anthony. You got it. You got the host?
Yep. Let's see.